Scott.
I'm Russell.
And I'm Leo. This is Spitball. Welcome to Spitball, where three techno-tacticians and a guest, that's us, empty our heads of all the startup and tech product ideas that we have stuck up in there, so you can all have them for free. Anything that we say is yours to keep. And this week, I brought our guest. This week we're having a very special guest, because he's not just a friend of ours that we've baited into joining us on the show. This week we're welcoming Chase Roberts, author and Arduino enthusiast, a computer scientist, former app developer, and successful twice Kickstarter champion. Chase, welcome to Spitball.
Thank you so much. It's fun to be here.
Chase is the author of Computer Engineering for Babies. Your website again, what is that? Is it
computerengineeringforbabies.com?
Perfect. You just came out with a sequel, right?
Just this last, well, I guess it's been a few months now. Computer Engineering for Big Babies. So that's the sequel book. I'm thinking about doing a third book.
A secret project.
I'm thinking about doing a third computer engineering book.
Sweet.
But I'm not sure what that's going to look like yet. But I'm working on another book that's not computer engineering that I'm really excited about. But yeah, not ready to go public with it quite yet.
I get that. My
I just placed an order for your first two books like 40 seconds ago.
Nice.
And my 2 and 4-year-old absolutely adore the buttons and switches and lights, and we have a good time with it. It's a successful product in our household, at least.
Great gifts.
Great gifts.
I'm glad you're liking it.
We're of the age where a lot of our friends have all gotten married now, and the babies are starting, and it's a perfect little like, hey, you're a nerd. Your kid will love this, and you will too. It's wonderful. All right, as we do always, our show starts off with a game, and this week we're going to be returning to a classic. This is in honor of your successful Kickstarters. We're going to be playing Wisdom of the Crowdfund. This is where I'm going to name a successful, all of these are successful, Kickstarter or Indiegogo campaign. You just have to tell me if it actually succeeded all the way through to fulfilling the orders, or if people backed it and then got nothing. And as always, we start with our guest, Chase. I got to tell you about this wonderful Kickstarter. This is from a while back. Here, let me look up the date. Chase, this is a project from 2014, so cast your mind back long before the dark times.
Oh, man.
I got to tell you about the Pancake Pirate Griddle. This is a cast iron project where you can back and you'll get a little set of 3 pancake griddles that have a skull and crossbones in them. It successfully backed with 200 backers and $18,000, but did their backers actually get their griddles?
I'm going to say no.
They did. It went all the way through. It was like a weird one-time limited run thing in Illinois, somewhere in Chicago. This guy had a dream.
Oh, wow. I was going to say 18, like, I don't know how much it costs to make a griddle, but 18,000 doesn't seem like enough.
Right? I would think so too. He met his goal,
yeah.
and it was all successful. But yeah, it's a giant, like, waffle iron looking cast iron thing that you got in the mail.
Dang.
Guy lost money, that's for sure.
It seems like it. Yeah, wouldn't recommend any of these projects, especially. Yeah,
Money was worth more back then.
It's so true, though.
I mean, after the inflation.
Scott.
Hit me.
I got to tell you about the hand-free. This is not hands-free, HANFREE. This is in 2011, right after the iPad came out, and it is the hands-free iPad accessory. Imagine a standing floor lamp, but with like a long arm and hook. The iPad attaches to it. You can lay in bed and use the iPad above your head like Wall-E. It had 440 backers that pledged $35,000. But did that ship?
Yes, I absolutely think this is shipped.
It didn't.
No!
It seems so easy, right? It's just a
Right?
big old like metal arm.
Of everything on Kickstarter, this seems very straightforward.
Was
And if
it-
you have the backers, like, yeah, this should have shipped.
You'd think.
What went wrong?
I don't know, man.
Was it too top heavy? That sounds like it might be too top heavy.
It hit several people in the face, falling over.
I don't know if it was mass production or if they just didn't prototype well enough, but yep, never came through. Russell, I'm here to tell you about Crystal Bacon. Yes, that's right, Crystal Bacon. This is a project from 2013. 49 backers pledged $2,000, and that was enough. $2,700. So, Crystal Bacon is, of course, bacon made of acrylic. This person CNC'd a necklace or a earrings or an ornament, or of course you could get all 3.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks like glass bacon. It succeeded, but did it ship?
Wait, I'm sorry. Is this actual
No.
bacon, or is this
It's
just
a sculpture
something
thing.
they CNC to look like?
Yeah,
bacon?
it's that.
Okay.
I don't know why, but-
I thought all the ideas on our show were bad, but I have a feeling that this one got funded.
It did get funded, but did it ship?
This shipped for sure.
Yeah, it
somebody
shipped.
loves bacon enough.
That's exactly right.
There's somebody that loves bacon that much.
There was a whole
So-
like internet meme thing around bacon in around 2013. Feels right. He, of course, successfully went on to go and create the booze bolt, which was a big, giant bolt that was a shot glass.
Of course.
I don't know why.
I mean, when you make money on bacon, you know,
That's the obvious next step in your career,
yeah,
right?
the next step.
Chase, I got to tell you about the ostrich pillow. Have you heard of the ostrich pillow?
No.
It's like moderately famous, so I wanted to make sure that... Okay, great. It's a full, fluffy pillowcase-looking thing that's kind of bulbous, and it has 3 holes in it. 1 for your head, so it goes completely over your head, and 2 for your arms, so you can sleep heads down on a desk.
I have seen this.
Yeah, so this was a thing that was like a big laughing stock, and they got $195,000 from about $2,000 backers.
Whoa.
But did it actually ship?
I feel like I don't know if I've seen these in real life, but I feel like I've seen these in magazines.
Is it the knockoff?
So if they didn't ship it, somebody else stole the idea and did ship it. I'm going to say they shipped it.
They shipped it. They did. And they had like 6 other ones afterward that were for other similar looking products. Studio Banana, of course. We all love Studio Banana and their famous ostrich pillow. Well done, Jace.
That idea is also stupid. Stupid ideas can do really well on Kickstarter.
You'd think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And bad idea it seems like a crapshoot whether or not something grabs onto the public imagination. Scott, I got to tell you about the Amma Brush. This is the 10-second toothbrush, which is a product that looks like a mouth guard, but it's got like automated bristles all around the top and bottom that you just stick in and let it do its thing. It's battery powered. It got 27,000 backers, 3 million euros in 2019. But did it actually ship?
I want this to have shipped so bad. I'm going to say yes, it shipped.
The last update was from the bankruptcy proceedings at this link. They did not ship. Which is hilarious because there's a big order now button right at the top of the Kickstarter. But you cannot purchase
Try
it.
it, see what happens.
Exactly. Russell, another product that I'm hoping you haven't seen.
Yeah.
This one had a late night appearance during the Kickstarter on like Tonight Show or something. This is the Licky Brush, all capitals, L-I-C-K-I brush. This is a mouthpiece that goes in your mouth like a mouth guard with an artificial bristled tongue so you can groom your cat.
No.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's like a brush thing that you put and then you can just sort of, go at it. But it got 2,000 backers, $52,000 in 2018. But did it actually ship?
I hope for everyone on this planet that it never shipped.
It totally shipped. It's a real thing.
Oh no! How many
Oh, my
people
God.
backed it? How many people backed it? 2,000 people.
2,022 people.
So
Yeah.
there are 2,000 people licking their cats, at least.
Guys, no, it made it on Shark Tank. Click this link.
Yeah.
This
I
thing
don't want
looks
to.
insane.
I don't want to. I don't want to know it exists.
Yeah, the byline says, have you ever wanted to lick your cat? Now you can without the fur balls. You know, that thing everyone wants to do. Yep.
Oh my god!
I think that means that the score is 1-1. Is that right?
I think so.
Yep.
All right, last time through. Chase, I got to tell you about the Pop charging station. Kind of looks like a white, trash can Mac Pro a little bit, like a long cylinder that sits on a desk or on a table, and there's legs that hold it up a little bit and a bunch of retractable charging cables that come out from the underside of it. You plug in your phone, your iPad, whatever, and then when you're done, they retract back into a little cylinder. It got 1,000 backers on the dot and raised about $140,000 in 2013, so early on in iPad life cycle, like 6 years after the iPhone launched, but did it ship?
What's it called?
The Pop, P-O-P, all capitals. The Pop, the intersection of charging and design.
These are hard. I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say it shipped.
No, sir, that was another failure.
Oh, I'm wrong. As soon as I said it, I realized I'm wrong.
Not this time. It didn't. You think 140,000 would be enough to take some
Yeah.
some cables and a spool and shove them in a plastic box, but nope.
I mean, they got tape measures have been around forever. Like, just repurpose that. I don't know.
Right.
I'm not an engineer.
Tape a USB to a tape measure and just let it go.
I could have had 150,000 sales.
There's a study somewhere that's like the more a Kickstarter project makes, the more unlikely it is that it's going to actually ship.
Robert's Law, as we call it now.
I think people just get excited
You've
about.
coined it.
Robert's Law.
Yeah.
Chase Robert, is it him?
No, I did not make this up. Somebody else has written about this, but I'm pretty sure it's true.
Scott, I got to tell you about the Cryptex. Crypteks, Cryptex USB. This is a flash drive that has some hardware encryption, so like a fingerprint scanner on it that encrypts all of your stuff on it. And it slides into a cylinder that's got a combination lock along it. It's the most secure, world-class, super secure digital stash for all of your files. It got 990 backers, so quite a bit in 2014, and almost $200,000. But did it ship?
This is another one. It seems like, yeah, this seems it could be doable. Biometrics, yeah, I think it shipped.
No, sir. Not even close.
God damn it.
They're from Michigan like us, but no, unfortunately, it was one of those things where I don't even know if they had a prototype. There's a lot of CGI renders on this thing.
That's a bummer.
Of course, Russell, the last one. Lionel Richie's head. So for a festival in England in 2013, 211 backers raised about $8,000 for. Let me read the quote for sure here. Lionel Richie's Head is in the official lineup for Bestival, a 4-day weekend music festival held in Wright, England. What they wanted to do was, depending on how many backers they got, get at least 3 meters, maybe as tall as 6 or more meters tall, paper mache and or other material of Lionel Richie, and it's an art piece. You could go in it, you could look at it, you could take a picture of it. A good-looking Lionel Richie head at a respectable height of 3 meters will cost us around 5,000 euros, so it'll need some internal turbines to help keep his head up and sandbags to keep it down and things like that, but the more that they can raise, the better. So they were successful, and they raised about $8,000. Did they hold up their end of the bargain? Was there a Lionel Richie head at Bestival 2013?
I hope so. This one seems like it needed to happen, and I feel like it didn't. The money didn't matter. It just it was gonna happen one way or another.
I have the best news for you. It indeed did happen. It ended up being 5 meters, which is about 16 feet tall.
See?
So you too can see the giant ass Lionel Richie.
A
Don't know why.
16-foot tall. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This makes me happy.
It's kind of like, remember the potato salad one where a guy was like, Kickstarter me eating potato salad. Look at this. Isn't that haunting?
Oh my gosh.
You too.
I probably would have backed that.
You too could.
Whoa.
That's an artist render.
What the heck?
I love
Is it
the
still
Windows
standing?
background.
No, it was just for a music festival. It's gone now. Well, actually,
Wow.
I don't know where it ended up. The Kickstarter page itself only shows, like, here's what it could be. I had to look up news articles to see if they ever held up.
I cannot believe somebody's licking their cats right now. Like
Yeah.
I can't stop thinking about this. Lick E.
I'm
Oh
sorry
my-
to be the bearer of bad news there.
The Kickstarter page has multiple. Like you could buy 3 and get a discount.
They're out.
Yeah, I want
The whole
3
family.
of these.
They're out of stock on Amazon, guys. There are 313 ratings. This is a mistake. This is an abomination. I don't know.
Somewhere Jordan Peele's writing down for his next horror movie script, a family of 3 are licking their cat when they turn the corner. What a jump scare.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Russell, you are up first this week. What do you got for us?
All right. I think this one I've told a lot of people about because I almost launched it, but I'm not going to anymore.
All right.
All right, guys. So my idea this week, I'm currently working on my basement, kind of, sort of. I had to hire somebody out because the amount of work isn't as bad as the amount of YouTubing and like all I have to do. Like, I think the amount of content on the internet has killed the DIY because I'm looking at this old house videos from 15 years ago to some dude that just installed this thing a year ago, and I'm trying to figure out, all right, who do I trust for my DIY project, right? all I want to do is talk to some retired professional that I need a hotline, right? So my idea is the DIY hotline, and all you do is call old retired guys or gals that are kind of out of work because they've done the manual labor, but they have all the knowledge, right? You call them up, you ask for advice, you do a FaceTime call or a WebEx call if they still use that or whatever, and basically just walk through the house and just be like, hey, I'm trying to fix this. Like, what should I do here, right? Cut through all the YouTube BS, skip all that. Like, I don't need an online course thing. I just need to talk to somebody to make me feel better about my DIY decision. I think there's a little bit of therapy there that comes with having an old, wise person telling you this. And yeah, simply put, that's the model. You can charge per, or honestly, I think this is where we win, is it's 100% free to call these folks, okay? Yeah.
Whoa.
And all the materials you need, so they're recommending and trying to sell you on, oh yeah, you need this pipe fitting, you need these things. They make a cut on all the products.
Sure.
So you make as much calls, you answer as many calls as possible, and you make money on recommendations of the products you buy. You give them discounts to Menards, the 11%, that you get back. Menards, they cut that back to the person doing the advising, right?
Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, so you do you increase your inbound calls by making it free to call, and you just make all the money on the buying behavior that comes out of those calls. So now the more active you are, the more you upsell, you turn them a little bit into salespeople, but also I don't know, you could also do the Uber model, right? You could say, all right, for $15, I don't know, it sounds like a hotline. Like when I get to hotline.
Yeah, I was going to say, dude,
Yeah.
I kind of want to make this into a hotline,
Yeah.
like a phone sex hotline where like
That's what I
you
was
are
trying to
charged
avoid.
by the minute on there, and you get the guy who knows absolutely everything about what you were trying to do, but every minute you're talking to him, like you're going to pay for that going through.
Yeah, I don't want to buy a product where like the guy's incentive is to upsell me on the most expensive thing.
Yeah, it's true. There's a balance.
Yeah, I know. I've already come to terms. I have to make 4 trips to Home Depot when I'm trying to just do it in one. And
I know, right?
Well, the other issue is that you're going to have all these slow talkers that get on that are just trying to run up the meter.
it's like a lawyer when they're billable.
Right.
You can hear them slow down.
I was listening to
Yeah.
NPR and they said today's episode is brought to you. It was a podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by, I forget which. It was one of those handyman like rent a something local carpenter come to your house sort of service. And they said, I had never heard this before, even though I've heard the ad many times. Your first visit or whatever is free, or your first video call. And I remember thinking like, oh man, like live video call with exactly what you're pitching would be amazing. But I've never followed through to see like how does that even work, But if you could make it free somehow, that's really cool.
A lead gen.
Or like somehow guarantee that it's not just the local whatever carpenter business, but it's like actually retired old grizzled dudes looking for something to do. Like that's the way to go. That's fun.
Can I pile on to Russell's idea
Please.
here?
Yes.
So I've had a very similar idea, but I want to, instead of focusing on fixing my water heater, I want somebody to just teach me about stepper motors or walk me through my Facebook ads. Like I kind of want Fiverr, but like I don't want $5 people. I want $100 an hour people.
Yeah.
Where I can just get on and it's like I just want to speak to a professional in an industry and just because going through all the YouTube slog is terrible because they don't know what problem I'm having. I end up watching an hour-long video to find the 2-minute segment that addresses the issue I'm having, right? Like, I just want to cut to the crap and get somebody that can help me with my problem. But it's not just water heaters or home stuff. It's like on a professional level too.
Totally.
I feel like LinkedIn is supposed to do that. That's like what they want LinkedIn to do, but it just doesn't work. Like I don't know. It just doesn't scratch the itch the way it's supposed to.
Do you want to connect?
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's amazing. I did not think about how this would apply to my life outside of DIY projects, but that's so true. The amount of videos that I've had to watch for like some software solution that I'm like, and then you end up watching 3 of them because you don't trust the first one. You always got to watch the second and third one to make sure they all say the same thing, you know?
You watch like 8 of them and find consensus because you got the one whack nut who's not doing it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the streets, you know? That's how you learn on the streets of back in the day of early YouTube, you know? Yeah, people read books. No, we watch 3 hours of YouTube. That's our thing.
Dude, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think there's something there for like somebody to like build off of, or I just think that it's hard to like trust or build a trustworthy website. So like the charging per dollar thing just seems like it's hard. Like,
Yeah.
but I think
like per minute, yeah.
yeah, but I think that's why it's like I don't know.
First 2 hours free.
Oh yeah, maybe that or something to like get me in. You know, I need to get hooked.
That, I mean, honestly, it might be like, okay, if I get my first 2 hours free with whatever handyman Bob on your website, and it works and it's great, I am always going back to handyman Bob. Like, holy shit, like you help me on this one, help me on this next project coming forward.
You could also just do a big data play, right? Where it's like we're collecting all of this video stuff, and soon we're going to have a video AI robot that, you know,
AI assistant.
We'll just make another YouTube video and put it out there.
you can just FaceTime with the robot, and it'll know. Like it'll take us 10 years to get there, but you would own all the data, right? And you'd be able to solve any problem.
That's actually really interesting. Like if there's something wrong with my dishwasher, I need this repaired, and this video, I look at 10 different videos and none of them are the exact same dishwasher. They're close, but it's not that same brand of Samsung, whatever. But by doing that and collecting all this, I would have some guy repairing the exact same dishwasher that I have at some point.
Yeah, actually, it'd be so funny if all the free calls were recorded and the education was free, and now you pay a subscription to access the library of everybody else's videos, and now you look up like Samsung S3RUN, right?
Yeah,
And now
right.
I can find that dishwasher and watch that.
Or just post up all those videos on YouTube as marketing for your platform, right?
Make that
That's how you
AdSense
bring
money,
people in.
yeah.
I've thought about this.
This is it. This is it, man.
For a minute, I was like gonna do this idea. Like I still might. So like, if you steal my idea, know that you might be competing with me.
TMTM. Right.
Chase,
TM.
take it, man. I will sign up. I'll be your early adopter, man.
Yeah, me too.
I haven't done it yet, but I might.
Can you imagine a dating? This is kind of a dating app where you're going through and it's like, this person has self-reported that they are an expert in these brands, these categories of home repair. They were a carpenter for 12 years. They were a furnace guy for 8. Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Dude, yeah, it's
Swipe right.
We could take over LinkedIn. Basically get all these professionals, helping them generate content. It's super casual and free, like, you know, and now you're just like, oh, I didn't know I was creating content, and all of a sudden I'm a content engine machine, you know? Like
Talking to a person who's like in the evening but currently in the workforce is fine, but it seems like it'd be really fun if it was grizzled old retirees. Like, there's something charming about that.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
the grandpas, you know.
I've never worked on a Samsung dishwasher before. They didn't invent those back when I worked, but
Get yourself a Maytag, you know, or something.
washboard in a bucket.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, that's it, guys. Like, I feel like very simple, but I think that it's like, I think there's like there's probably a company out there that does this, or like they're already like Angie's List and TaskRabbit and those types of folks that could
Pivot into
totally,
that, yeah.
But there's something, you know, maybe they tap into this, or this company exists and they pull in Angie's List professionals and stuff. It just feels like easy to steal, or maybe there's a reason why it wasn't.
Angie's List was great when it was a list of ratings. It was like Yelp, like Google Maps reviews, right? And then they turned into this, like, we'll call you from a special number and take care of all of it for you. And I don't trust it as much anymore. And I feel like that's because I'm not able to see all the options, and I'm not able to get the bio of the places, and I'm not looking at actual verified reviews or whatever. It's like, we'll match for you, and you don't get to see any of their info. Don't worry about it. We'll do all the connecting.
Trust
It's
us.
like, something that's really charming about what you're originally pitching, Russell, is the connection that you're going to have with a rando. Like, this is Doug. He did this for 50 years or whatever. Like, this is Susan, and she currently works in the industry. And here's connecting you now. That's so much better.
I tried to make a TikTok ad the other day, and like what you said, Chase, like I went on Fiverr, found someone who's done this 100 times, and all I paid for was like a 1-hour video call with this person, nothing else. And I got so much further from this one video call than anything would have been me digging through YouTubes and whatnot trying this. I really like this idea.
Dude, send me your guy. I want a video call with him.
He's in Morocco, and he's awesome.
Oh, I love Morocco. Yeah, serious. Send me your guy.
I will.
Because the other problem with Fiverr is I just get nervous about, like, are these guys any good, right? And like they've got reviews. But,
it was funny. He was recommended by a different Fiverr guy, and that's why I used him.
Yeah. I feel like the reviews on Fiverr are like, I just don't trust those as much because
the whole premise of Fiverr was cheap and medium quality at best, like for a long time.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to make it like more, luxury quality product. But yeah, it's hard to shake that stigma when you kind of build your whole name and branding and conceit off of cheap.
$5.
Was that guy, Scott, like, was it a free call? Like, was it just like an intro, get to know each other call?
No.
Or, you paid for that?
I paid for the service up front to be like, I will help you get up and running for this.
Oh, okay. So he did book by the hour. So this is kind of an example of it working. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Validated.
Yeah, I think people are, I mean, I don't know how many, like, people that'll help you with your dishwasher on Fiverr, but there's definitely like some consulting that goes through there.
It's hard
but
to be a 30-year veteran, grizzled old TikToker, you know?
That's true.
I've been doing TikTok for a long time, kid.
So all these companies, right? They spend all this time quoting, and they have all these guys driving around doing quotes for work, right? Like, they just drove out there. It's like, yeah, it's going to be $60 minimum for me to drive out there to see what I could have just seen. Send me a picture, right? Like, you solve some of that and you make a really good experience for people. Like, I think for millennials too, like tapping into that market, like it's just, you're a video call away from doing a quote. And now instead of it being $60 an hour of some dude's time in our company, you now just did it virtually. That's good.
Company saves gas. Company's able to bang, bang, bang right through all the morning calls. Yeah, totally.
And this also, I think like there's some element to like, Chase, what you were saying, like in my friend group and my extended network, like there are probably people that want to talk to me about like no code, for example, and I don't know how to charge for that without being weird, right? So it's like, book a time on my Calendly and there's a checkout page or something like, or maybe
which
like,
that is a thing. Cal.com. There's other Calendlys that'll like do like you pay to get the schedule thing going, but it's still not like a markup. You have to have I already know them and steer them to it first.
It feels a little weird, I guess, doing it that way, right? Maybe if there is a marketplace or my LinkedIn profile has like 400 reviews, like, sorry, I do this for a living, so it's not as weird, right? But I don't know. There's probably something. There's something that something there. So, thanks, guys.
Good job.
You're welcome.
I'm so excited about
What is that?
We say thank you at the end of every pitch.
Thank you for your time.
I was excited for it. All right, Scotty, let's hear what you got this time.
Russell, I am so excited. I think this idea is a product hardware idea, and it'll go very well with yours. I do a lot of troubleshooting for my job right now. And I've worked either with customers or remotely, and by far the most difficult troubleshooting I've ever had to deal with is with my parents. My parents have something wrong with the television, or there's an app that is doing something weird, and I gotta hop on a call with them and be like, have them explain it to me over the phone, or we'll try to set up more recently, I've been trying to set up like a Google Hangouts or something, like, Mom, just click this link, and everything will be, and then I'll be able to see what's going on. And even that just doesn't work. As Rebecca said last week, a silver tsunami is coming. this is going to be a more occurrence. I would like to build a hardware device that helps in remote troubleshooting, where it's a very one-sided device, where I have complete control over it on one side, and on the other side, it just sits there, and nothing else has to be done. So I'm picturing like a 360-degree camera on a device with a laser pointer on a gimbal that I can like point to different things in the room or on the television or whatnot. There's a screen on it that I can show. I can pull up images of screenshots that I took and drew a big circle on it, or pull up YouTube videos. There's a built-in microphone and speaker. That's about as far as I got before I'm like, crap, I really want to build this.
The orb.
Exactly, just the orb. Mom, go get the orb. Hit the button on the orb. And then it'll just, everything is pre-set up, and it'll automatically like generate the call, and I can just hop onto it and walk them through why their Sony television doesn't have the HBO app or something like installed, and how to do that.
Throw an IR blaster on it, boom.
Oh, right, that's a great idea. Or have it like a Bluetooth receiver on it that it's just sniffing all the Bluetooth devices in the room. It'd be like, well, Mom, this one isn't on right now. You got to turn this switch. Just everything you could ever want for troubleshooting in one device, one-sided. That's my idea.
The guys at DEF CON are going to love hacking this thing and just messing with all these old people.
Yeah. That's what everyone wants. Another camera in their house, you know?
It could have the Staples Easy button on the top that only opens up and connects to Wi-Fi and does stuff when, kids told me to press the button, or I need help button, and then that's when it connects. But yeah.
Let them spy. They'll be watching over our old people, just making sure they're safe.
It's comforting.
It's
I'd pay for that.
The hacker saw me fall, and now they called 911. I don't know. The nice hackers.
I got an interesting help desk ticket a couple months ago from someone where I work who was asking, what is the best way for me to find a device where I can give it to my elderly mom who's in a nursing home, where I can call her and she doesn't have to do anything, where I can like drop in and just start a call, and there's literally nothing. And we looked at Amazon. If you have an Amazon Echo that is part of your household and then you put it in their house, you can do the drop-in feature where it kind of starts an intercom type thing. You just want to like bolt more and more sensors and stuff onto something like that.
I want to add more features to that.
That's great.
I want that laser pointer. That would be so game changing for me if I could see everything in the room and point at one thing. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. Take that laser pointer gimbal and put a stylus on it and be like, Mom, just put your phone in front of me and I will like point and fix whatever is going wrong on there. I will change your settings remotely with my stylus.
That's awesome.
So
a long time ago, I hacked my Ender 3 3D printer and put a stylus on it and had it play one of those word search games. It's called Wordscape. And I set it up and it would just run all night. And I had like a camera that was doing recognition to pick up the letters and everything. It was like a several month project, but I beat every single level on that game.
Got the all-time high score.
That's wonderful.
I posted on YouTube and all sorts of people commented that they hated me and that I was cheating and all this stuff. I'm like, you guys don't get it. Like
they're blood and tears if we're poured in that game and you're just No, that makes sense.
Some hacker with an Ender.
So Scott, I feel like you could create just sell separate devices, right? So you have so why I say that is because
make it modular.
Yeah, you have the laser pointer, so it's good for you to tell where your parents need to go, but also if you need to play with your dog, or your cat, you just need them to run around, just plug it in. Universal market, right? It's not just old folks. And then your 3D camera thing, just a plug and play thing. I think that's really helpful for like home security to, job sites, right? If you have multiple job sites and you want to remote in and see, is your team slacking off? You can just pop in, turn on the green light and like get to work.
Is your team slacking off?
I mean, if you have like 3 hour like job sites that are like an hour apart, and you're there's probably something like that, but
you can attach the whip attachment, crack it at your the insubordination.
That's right, or like there's There's probably a more. That's right. Just light a firecracker or a black cat every hour if they're
Oh my god.
auto mode, you know.
There you go.
But like the Facebook, I used actually the Facebook portal back in the day.
Portal, that's what it's called.
Yeah, and that was really Carrie's grandpa used that. Everybody loved that thing.
Yeah.
Like every
Yeah.
single, because like
You know why? Because it was simple on the parent side. I hit the button and I'm talking to my I'm talking to my kids at this point.
it was super nice. The funny thing is you had to create like a Facebook account for somebody that's never going to use Facebook, and then everybody had to like add him as a friend, and it just became this whole thing.
I want even less steps.
Yeah.
I want one button, which is honestly, Chase, what you were saying about like, yeah, this is going to be such a target for hackers on it. And you're right. It probably would be. I really like the idea of having it like it is fully disconnected from everything. Just a couple of relays in there that are like, you cannot do this until the person comes over and like hits the big button on top that activates everything. Then I get the link to use, so that there aren't even more scams going around through my mobile laser pointer device.
Could you just get like security cameras or something, and then when you hit the button, it gives them power? I don't know. Seems like this should not be difficult to prototype. Like we should be able to buy a bunch of off-the-shelf stuff and just slap it together, right?
Oh yeah.
All right,
Totally.
cool. We'll
Easy.
report back next week with our prototype.
With your ball of UV cameras and laser pointer with a Nerf gun firing system.
Nerf gun.
Just create a BB-8, you know? Just get an R2D2 made for real, though, real life one.
Seriously.
This is I was thinking about this. What if you had a device, like my wife it takes care of my kid, right? And what if she falls or like gets injured and nobody's able to call me, right, that this has happened? But if I put up a little device for my kid to call grandma, grandpa, it's just a very simple interface for
Life
them.
Life alert for babies.
Yes, like kind of like old people and very young people have a lot in common, right? I mean,
Life is a bell curve
They
of
can
skills.
nap whenever they want.
they do. They don't know what time it is. Impulse control. I don't know. It's,
They can't install Netflix on their smart TV.
Right.
that's yes, right. But they want to watch a show, and they will demand for it. It's very similar. So, I guess. Don't stop at old people, is what I'm saying. But like, I think babies would love to call their grandma, you know. And how awesome would it be if my kid's talking to grandpa all the time whenever he wanted, right? It wasn't like a forced option. It was
My kids are already talking to grandma all the time, and I hate it. Like,
Do they initiate it all by themselves?
no, I don't know who's initiating. I'm sure she's initiating it, but I feel like every time I turn around, they're talking to grandma, and grandma doesn't hang up. She just waits, right? The kids are just running around with the phone. They'll set it down in the corner, and grandma will just wait. It's like,
But then
she's just
sometimes
listening
phone's out
to
of commission.
everything.
You need the orb.
It's awful.
Yeah.
The orb.
It's got to be mounted to a wall and expire after 20 minutes. You have to restart the session every.
There you go.
I want it so that it's tracking faces, and if there's not a face in front of the screen, ends the call. So when my kids walk away, it's over. Boom.
That's actually very convenient for old and young people.
Let's do that.
All right, Leo, what idea do you have this week?
All right. I was in a newly opened health food store here where we live, and they have this super cute thing that I'd never seen before, where they have regular sized carts for the adults, and they have little tiny kid sized carts, and there's a big flag on that comes up from the cart that says like shopper in training, and they can walk around the store with their parents and put their products into their own shopping carts. And it's super cute, right? It gives like the kids something to do, so they're not wandering around stealing cookies off the shelf and, you know, throwing tantrums in the middle of the aisle. It gives them purpose and autonomy. And I was thinking about the logical end of that situation where they like arrive at the checkout lane together and you've got too wide of a cart situation going on and you're trying to figure out what products are in what cart, get it all. Mom or dad is struggling to get all the stuff out of both the carts, and that'd be a little bit chaotic. I think that there should be a checkout lane, much like you have like the regular checkout lanes and the robot checkout lanes for self-checkout. There should be one or two that is the parent and child co-lanes where they're paired together. The parent walks up and they start the checkout system. They say, begin the new thing, and they scan their first item, and both the normal height one and the small kid height one light up together, and the kid can start checking out too. It shows up on the one bill. It's all going to the parent's one who's in control. The kid gets a dumbed down interface where they're only looking at like, hold item here. Great, you did it. Put it in the spot, right? It doesn't have to have much on the kid's side. But then at the very end, mom says complete or dad says complete, and then they both get totaled up. And it's like giving the kid more, hey, you did it, good job autonomy,
Awesome. This is freaking, I don't know why, but I feel like this is so important for the world.
I imagine the checkout machine companies are not at the forefront of innovation, but there's got to be like something that you could pitch to a regional chain they'd be interested in prototyping something like this, right?
Yeah, just make a modular device that you can drop into any store from there. Oh, that could be fun.
I mean, all the checkout lanes are now self-checkout
Seems like it,
for
yeah.
the most part, right? Like they need to figure out what to do with all these checkout lanes. Dude, like you can create
the very
that whole...
best case scenario in the checkout lane when you have a kid is that they're immobile because they're trapped in a cart or whatever, right? Like,
yes,
it's never pretty when you have a bunch of kids running around in a small confined checkout lane. Give them something to do,
I know, and they put the gum and the candy in arm's reach. They literally try to make it awful.
On the parent's side, they could be like approving the items as they come so the kid doesn't try to sneak Oreos through or whatever.
Oreos.
Yeah.
I think they should just, honestly, Leo, like you could create that whole fancy interface, but like just drop them in a ball pit. Like this is the ball pit lane. Put them down in there. It's like a little bit cage-like, keeps them. But like, we just need to check out here. And the kids are always at the end of their rope by the time that they've got to the checkout. They've sat in the cart the whole time. They didn't get half the shit they wanted, so they're already mad. And then all the cool stuff at checkout, nope, mom and dad won't let me. So... oh, but here's a ball pit. Just sit, or whatever, like a slide. Just that's it. You just take one checkout lane, and literally I bet that lane is going to be long, like 30 minutes long, because it's worth waiting for.
Maybe. And if you are, it can be a normal checkout lane, right? If you don't have a kid, it doesn't have to function with the little kids thing. That's like an option. They should have a couple of them here and there that are right next to the regular one, It doesn't take up space too much.
Yeah. They do this with like this, like, how there's like a special lane for like the liquor and cigarettes. I think they have it at like Walmart. Like you just take that section out and just put it, that's the kid one, all right?
We're going to make liquor and cigarettes for kids.
Try to open this device, unlock the...
I think you're right, though, that they're not too concerned about people with kids.
Yeah.
And optimizing the experience for 8-year-olds.
Your MVP could just be like just another checkout lane, a plastic checkout lane that has no electronics at all except a beeping noise. And then when you've scanned items, you put them in the kids section that they can scan them too and put it in.
That's a good idea.
And that's the whole thing. You're helping daddy.
Fisher Price might already make something like that. You just stick it in there. Yeah, totally. Just
put it in a grocery store. Sell it to a grocery store.
Yeah, something made of metal.
Dude, they gotta... This could be like a revenue stream for them, I think if you created like... I don't know, maybe a little section of the store for them to... everything's their height. Whoa. And they got to pick... It's all like $1. It's like a mini dollar store for kids, right?
That's cool. Yeah.
You have $5 and just give them 5 singles. They pick out 5 things.
Little checkout experience.
Maybe $1. How about $1?
Get the brand loyalty.
It's all like Chuck E. Cheese tokens, right? You buy a little Chuck E. Cheese token at the start and you say, this is your coin, and they get the whole... Yeah, that's a fun idea.
That's a good idea.
Target would eat that up, Target... like put a little, like they're all about the Target mom, right? They have the dollar store section, and you get a brand loyal buyer forever. Like, mama's going to Target, let's go,
Sure.
Meijer, I want to stay at home. Sorry, Meijer, we if you want to be a sponsor, no,
yeah, right.
I'll flip the names. But yeah, that's like the concept, right? I think you can turn this into, rather than just trying to accommodate a busy parent, like turn this into a revenue stream for kids and
Make it part of your brand. Yeah.
yeah, this is like what is it? Children's museums do this all the time, right? So like they have sponsored little sections for grocery stores all the time. So I don't know. This just seems like an easy add-on, and you would just make money building these and selling the products. You just out of the box solution. We need 4x4 square, or not like maybe not 4 feet. Maybe I don't know how big these kids need to be. But you just create maybe a wall of goods. It's like a vending machine for kids or something. I don't know, like sized thing or better, depending on how you guys, whoever makes this does it, right? So,
Yeah, I mean, here, our local grocery store chain, Meijer, has like a whole separate store within a store for just the alcohol section. It does seem like you could have that, but the Chuck E. Cheese
yes,
area, you know, everything's kid-sized. That's fun.
just small enough, and it's got all this stuff, right? So it should be.
Yeah.
They're selling to kids all the time. Like, just put every Hot Wheels car in one section, every little ball. I know exactly what would go on that shelf, and they're playing with it the whole time.
Needs to be consumables.
Yep.
Moderately healthy consumables. I'm not going to get a new Hot Wheels car every time I have to go to the grocery store, Russell.
I mean,
Hey, you're not my customer, Leo. Your kid is, all right? That's for sure. So,
All right, Chase, what have you brought to us this week?
Can I pitch 2 ideas? Is that allowed?
Damn. Sure, I guess.
Yeah, why
It's
not?
your pitch. Go for it.
they're
All
free.
right.
You're giving these ideas away, you know.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm just hoping that somebody's going to execute on these so that I can be a customer.
Hit us.
So I pitched this one in an email actually a couple weeks ago for my newsletter, just people who have bought my book. And that was a Netflix for Legos. So basically, my kids, like, they'll put together a Lego set, and then it basically just goes in the bin with all the other Legos. And I said a bin. I've got like 3 of these huge bins filled with Legos. And like, we have more than enough for free building. And my kids are terrible at free building anyway and never do it. But it's like, it just feels like such a waste to spend $100 on a new Lego set, and they do it once and then it just goes in the bin forever. And so I was like, what if I could just rent the Lego set? They could put it together. I could send it back and they could send it on to another kid. Right.
oh,
So that's idea number 1.
That's great.
Lego library. Like
Like a Lego library. And I think
Yeah.
some libraries might even have Legos. Mine doesn't. But I think it's a cool idea. There's some issues with, like, you got to figure out shipping, because like you start shipping Lego sets back and forth. If you get people
You're
on
gonna lose
subscription and they're
pieces.
doing 2 or 3 a month, like, shipping adds up. Yeah. And then counting pieces, I feel like that's a solvable problem. We could build some robots to count pieces. Like, there's some YouTube videos of
weigh
people
it when it gets
who have-
back, and if it's off by X amount, then pull it open and count the pieces
Sure.
or something.
Yeah.
right, visual learning, right? That's the visual eye camera.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those are solvable issues.
Yes.
Those are fun problems.
Those are fun problems.
And if you're making the service, you don't have to use like the official Harry Potter set with all of its whack pieces. You could make your own sets that are a little more basic and easy to keep track of with, you know, all the basic parts. You have your own plain set that your Netflix for Legos has designed with, you know
Yeah.
exactly it's the same like 50 pieces across the entire thing, so you get the economies of scale there.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And there are some people who've done similar things. I think there's somebody in like the UK that's doing rent Lego stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a fun idea. I'd sign up and do it.
Dude, I could spitball that for like what Leo you just said.
I know, same.
Like Chase, like you could totally. I think you said this. Like, what if you took or scanned all the Legos in your in your library
yeah.
and just open source Lego creations, right? And so now people know your
Yeah.
inventory, and now your subscription Netflix style is not getting new boxes, but taking your current Lego set and applying it to new designs, creator community, or
it just auto generates the instructions based upon what you have in front of you.
So there's actually an app that does this. I think it's called Brick It.
No
Yeah.
way.
And you spread out all your Legos on the carpet, and then you like hold it up, and it's supposed to scan your Legos and inventory and then tell you what you can build.
That's really cool.
In theory, it's really awesome. I haven't used it in a while, but I tried using it like 2 years ago, and I scanned probably like 200 pieces, and then it kicked back and it was like, you can use 20 of your pieces to build this bird. And I was like, oh, that's not exciting. Sure. So the execution wasn't quite there when I tested it. It's probably better now, but yeah,
they need the community.
There's a lot of people in the Lego space working on cool ideas like this.
So.
Peer-to-peer, like, hey, you and the guy across town who has similar age kids, if you work together, you could build this mega robot, but you only have half the pieces, and so do they have the other half. It's a dating app, but for Legos.
Yikes.
No, it could be good. What you were saying, though, like if you could inventory all of your Legos and do it correctly, and then like upload it somewhere, and then we could send you designs. That would be cool for sure. Or if you could just somehow say, like, I know I've bought this Lego set in the past. I've bought this Lego set in the past. Like, I know I have these pieces and just do it that way.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's the way to do it. And then it's like, oh yeah, build the mega robot from, these 20 sets that you said that you have.
And Lego themselves have the whole like ideas forge thing where people submit designs that they've created that they want Lego to make a set for. So clearly there's like a well of people who are creative with designing cool new things that are like, they have, here's what you could make with these parts, right? That inspiration is out there. I'm not the kind of person who can look at a pile and say, this is going to be great as a robot, but there's clearly a lot of people out there who are. I'd love to like get connected with them. Yeah.
That's cool.
So idea number 2 is, so my kids, I've been paying to have my kids take tennis lessons for like 2 years. Okay. My son is like 8 years old. And then I go out and I play tennis with him, and he's swinging his racket, like windmilling it. I'm like, dude, forehand, bring it across your body. This is like day one in tennis is like how to hit a basic forehand, and you're swinging the racket around like it's a windmill. And like, I'm like, you can't hit the ball like that. And like, I've probably spent thousands of dollars, literally thousands of dollars, for my kid to learn tennis, and he doesn't even know how to hit the ball.
I can't wait to hear where this is going.
How have you solved this? I'd love to hear it.
So the idea I had
is a pit to burn money in.
Does it involve a lot of rubber bands?
Around this time, I bought one of those VR Oculus Rift headsets, right? And my kid, like, I didn't even tell my kid that I bought one of these because I knew that he would just pester me all day long wanting to use it, because he would use it all day if I would let him, right? So I was thinking it'd be cool to just have like a tennis training app that was like in VR, where it's like, we start simple. We just put coins or something in the air, and he's just got to make that basic forehand stroke and collect the coins. Doop, 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 doop. And then it's like he just swings through and he collects the coins.
So this is a wax on, wax off app. Where it just has like the outline of their hand to go.
We're just going to drill basic stroke. And then maybe like after a while, we remove the coins and we just have a ball that stands free in the air, and he just hits that ball. And then maybe the ball just bounces and then you hit it. And we just work up to like hitting a ball. But we're drilling that basic stroke over and over again. And we're monitoring that he's like doing it right and he's not windmilling, right? And I just think that would be like a super useful, let's build some muscle memory here. And we can do it for, we can make a $20 app instead of spending thousands of dollars on lesson. Like, I mean, we can still spend thousands of dollars on lessons, but this would be a nice supplementary teaching tool. Anyway,
totally.
Long story short, I ended up spending like $20,000 or $30,000 trying to like get this developed.
Was this on Fiverr or something?
Well, no, I found these guys.
Oh no!
I just found this dev shop that was working on it for a while, and then they weren't working out, and so I like fired them and found a local like Unity dev. And like I've never done Unity, and I just felt like I didn't want to go figure it out, and so I just wanted to hire somebody. In retrospect, like if I was serious about doing it, instead of paying money, I should have just done it myself, because then I could get it done the way I wanted to.
You want to own it,
but I just don't have the time to like. anyway. And the intersection of like people who have VR headsets that want to teach their kids tennis is kind of like, it's a tight,
Don't you love niche markets?
it's very, I think it's too niche. So I kind of decided I'm going to put this one on hold. I'm going to give this one away to you guys so that you can work on it. But I will be your first customer and I will pay maybe not thousands, but like I'll pay a lot.
I will
like,
pay $30 for that.
We have a friend, the three of us, a good guy friend, who swears that his Quest 1, way back when that was first released, improved his golf game a lot. He got one of the pro training golf things, and he played it quite a bit, and he says that it was a night and day difference. He loved it. And he loved it so much that he bought me a copy of the golf game. It's fun. I'm not a great golfer. It's like, I don't know, it's like putt-putt or whatever. But it's super cool that these technologies can do that. I think you're totally onto something.
Yeah. I mean, I still think it's a super cool idea.
It looks like there's one company who's claiming to do this. I don't know if it's... Have you ever heard of ATP Tour? Apparently this is... I'm kind of Googling on the fly a little bit. There might be something that's come out recently that maybe does this.
That's his company.
I don't know
ATP
how good
Tour.
it is for like...
No.
Yeah, is that you? Yeah.
No, there was somebody that had done a very similar thing for hockey, and they were... Oh, let's see. No, it was. I think it's baseball. Maybe they're doing hockey too. But they had done baseball and they had done it really well. But they did it at a high level where they were going after like college like athletes
That's what this
and
looks
stuff.
like too. Yeah.
And same with the tennis one. They're going after like high level. Whereas I want to go
Like Mario Kart.
very bottom. I want to make it like super gamified. I want it to be for like 6-year-olds.
That's
right?
great.
I'm very focused on all of these 6-year-old products.
There was a cool a student I was working with. His research project was they were taking, we'll use tennis as the example, professional athletes. Serena Williams, they asked Serena Williams, I'm just making this up, hey, can we put like different electrodes and whatever on different muscles on your body and then just watch you do some forehand and backhand on here? They gathered all that data, and then they were able to put the electrodes on someone trying to learn tennis and be like, okay, this is what, we're able to see what Serena Williams was doing for this. This is what you need to focus on your forehand going through. Just 100% data-driven, trying to improve people's games going on it. I don't think you wanted to put electrodes on your VR headset, but I think that would be interesting.
You know what would be even cooler is if instead of showing you, okay, this is the difference between you and Serena, if they could somehow like stimulate your
That's
muscles
what I was gonna
so that
say.
you
Yeah.
actually did what Serena did, and it's like, oh, that's what it feels like.
At this point in the swing, she's already moving. Yeah, you should be. Yeah,
That's probably also 10 years away, but that would be really cool.
That would be nuts. We'll circle back on that in a couple of years.
You got like a robot exosuit.
Yeah.
You just relax all your muscles and you're in a robot exoskeleton and it pilots and puppets you around so that you get the feeling
That's
of where
where
you
my
should
head
be.
went. That's exactly where my head went, Leo. Like,
Let's do that.
I just slide into the suit and just.
What would it be like to be Michael Phelps?
It's that Rick and Morty. You wake up in the morning and you have a 6-pack because it's been exercising you all night long.
Right.
Dude. I think there's something though, muscle memory training, right? That's really what it is. It's like, how do you get the muscle memory as
Wax on,
fast
wax
as
off.
possible, right? Wax on, wax off, dude. Like, I mean, you can do like here's the thing, Chase. Here's how you make a ton of money. You sell it to the military and you train all these 6-year-old soldiers, all right?
Dude, that's awful.
We're here for the capitalism, right? No, it's just
As long as we make money.
tennis one
shaking
way.
my head.
No,
My cool VR game just got bought by Raytheon.
no, but I mean,
Halliburton just put an offer in for my
teach me how to fly an F-15 though. Like
Lockheed
I'm all there. Like if the government wanted me to do some muscle memory on like one of those fancy jets, like all right, I'll take the bait.
There you go.
But no, I think you're like, yeah, there's something about muscle memory, making it a game, or maybe you don't even make it look like they're playing tennis or golf or hockey. All of a sudden they acquire these like skills to be active in sports, and all of a sudden they're playing baseball and they're like, holy cow, I'm killing it.
I love products that trick you into learning something, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Math Blaster. You guys ever play Math Blaster when you were a kid?
Oh,
yeah.
hell yeah.
That game was legit.
So it reminds me of like, but for sports.
Yeah.
Not for math.
Math Blaster, but for sports is great because I have a feeling that those are diametrically opposed ideas. That's
Chase,
fun.
what did you call it?
Title
What
that
did you
idea,
call
that.
your tennis trainer?
Yeah.
I didn't have I bought the domain Level Zero Tennis, but
Oh,
I
cool.
didn't have,
Oh.
I didn't get far enough to like actually name it like anything. Yeah. I mean, I've got a
That's how we know you're
prototype
one
somewhere
of us.
around.
You bought the domain.
The physics.
Buying the domain is the first step in any project. We are right there with you.
Yeah.
I've got like 50.
Level Zero Tennis.
That's great. Yeah.
Dude, like Wii Tennis doesn't work, huh? It does not work. It's no. Okay.
No, because like my kid can still go like this and swing it like an idiot, and it worked fine in Wii Tennis. I need him to like actually learn how to swing the racket.
Bowling, you could like for bowling. I'm just thinking.
There's a ton of applications for this. This is
Yeah.
cool.
What is it? Dude, have you seen like? I think there's a lot of like weird niche Olympic sports that would like love to get more people into the game and just or like I feel like that this application, if you could develop the apps really quickly or the muscle training, that like all these Olympic sports would love it. Because okay, I have this conspiracy theory a little bit, not really conspiracy, but like there are a lot of people that are really good athletes in, let's say, track and long jump or something, but will never be gold medalists. So they try this completely out there, like, have you seen like the horseback shooting? Do you guys remember this? Like crazy, like you're like, how did this become an Olympic event? Like, I feel like you apply like, okay, you're a great runner. We need you on horseback and shooting, right? Somehow that applies. And here, we're going to put you in this VR headset, and now we can get you from, bronze medal because you're a great runner and it applies here to gold medal in this event because of like the constant training that you do, and you're not going to fatigue your muscles, you're not going to do the same type of stuff. Like I see this being like a next stage of sports development. Like I don't know, there's like, especially when you don't have to actually do the work, like physically tire yourself maybe. I don't know.
I think at some point to be a world-class Olympian, you probably have to start tiring your body a little bit here and there.
Not for
No, you're going to train an Olympian who's not even trying.
have you seen,
I've only done curling in VR, but I guess I'm a gold medalist now.
This is how we're going to train our future pilots. It's going to be great.
guys, it's not for the
That's
not
gotta
for
be a
the
thing
events that anybody really knows. It's for the events that are like, what?
The luge.
I mean,
No one's ever watched luge.
As Greg Giraldo said, you could be dead and be pretty good at the luge.
you could be dead, right?
I like the idea of Netflix suggestions for alternative Olympic sports. I think that's great.
You keep trying in the 500 meter, but
You're
come
pretty
on,
good
man.
at running, but you might be great at these other sports.
There was a comedian whose name escapes me who said, I'm willing to bet the top 100 pole vaulters in the world are not aware of it.
That's exactly, yes. Oh my gosh.
Thanks so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed yourself. And thank you so much, Chase. You were amazing. That was wonderful.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I hope we could do it again.
One more time. That's computerengineeringforbabies.com. If you have anyone that in your life that you know that has a young child who is also a inclination to be a nerd.
Yeah. You want to plug anything, Chase? You want to plug your next book or whatever too? Like,
Is your newsletter at your website?
That's just, I try to just send out an email like once a month with, I don't know, whatever I'm working on, just to try to, I don't know. I try to make it entertaining because like people send out emails and it's like, buy our stuff. And I don't want to send that out. I want to send out something that at least is like somewhat interesting, but also a reminder that like, hey, I'm still around. Like, if you've got a baby shower or something coming up, it's a great gift.
Totally.
Anyway,
it really
Once again,
is.
computerengineeringforbabies.com. Our website is spitball.show. There you can find links to our YouTube channel, other social media, ourselves. Please, if you wouldn't mind, email us feedback, comments, ideas that this sparked in you. We are podcast at spitball.show. That's also how you can follow us on the Fediverse, which is Mastodon, where podcast is spitball.show. Our subreddit is r/spitball show. Our intro outro music is Swingers by Bonkers Beat Club. Please, if you wouldn't mind listening on a podcast app of some kind, we'd love to get a review. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever it is that you're listening on, subscribe, add us, and review us wherever you get your podcasts. New episode is coming out in 2 weeks. We will see you then.